Alright, I'm going to make some pumpkin spice iced coffee because I've been in a mood all day and I feel like I just need something to pick me up. So I'm going to share with you guys how I make it, and I'm using my favorite, of course, Nescafe. Alright, so I'm going to use mace and nutmeg for the spice. I'm not going to use the other things. So mace is probably hard to get in terms of grounded mace. It's expensive and hard to get, but you wouldn't know that mace. It's just this little thing that's on the nutmeg that most people throw away, and it makes your porridge taste really good. So I'm gonna use it. So I have like a small piece left off of a nutmeg. I'm gonna put this in my coffee. So I'm going to just kind of just crush it out or ground it out just a little bit, and then I'm going to use this nutmeg that I've been using. And I'm not making pumpkin pie. I'm just using, the pumpkin spice or some of the ingredients from it. So I have pumpkin. That's frozen pumpkin right there. And that's coffee. So you can use your leftover coffee if even if it has creamer or it's just sugar, whatever the leftover coffee that you have, you can. Or if you want to make the coffee from scratch, put it to cool, you can. But it's very hot now, so drinking a hot beverage is probably not necessarily the best idea. So iced coffee it is for the summer. If you're on a diet, you can probably like just not drink it. I don't know, but yeah, coffee. Use leftover coffee or make the coffee from scratch. Then there's creamer. So it was frozen, so I am thawing it just a little bit, but I made it separately from the coffee because of the texture that I'm going for the pumpkin spice. All right, so I don't have the time to grind it out or ground it out, whatever the word they use. So all I'm doing is just kind of using a hard shell, one that has not been used, just to kind of give me a little. Oh, I'll take that part off. Right, just to give me a little, because you don't want to have pieces in your mouth, not from this. All right, because it has a very weird taste just by itself, but together with nutmeg and the others, it's very good. All right, so I'm going to put it together now in the processor, just to get it very smooth. So if you look very closely, you'll see the mace, right? That looks so good. It's almost like we have the pumpkin spice already. So you'll see the mace, and I'm going to put the nutmeg in last. Cool. So I've separated my ingredients in terms of the coffee. So if you drink coffee like me, if you drink it strong, you can use like 3 tablespoons, right? But if not, just use 2. And what I've done is to use 1 to make the coffee just with coffee and sugar, and then I've used the other in another container because I'm going to kind of whisk it a little just to make it very light and fluffy and smooth for the rest of what I want to do. So now that the pumpkin with the spice, the mace, is ready, all I'm doing is just putting in the creamer, and I added a little salt to my creamer, or whatever milk you want to use. Coconut milk I find is really good too. I love it in my coffee, but I don't have any now. Alright, so that's how it looks at first because I just poured it from the processor, right? You see all the pumpkin and the little spice settling at the top, and the creamer is just there, and it's a very nice texture. It's very fluffy, very nice, right? So now what I'm gonna do is the other portion of the coffee that I had, I put it with a little warm water, some sugar, and not for it to be overly sweet, and I'm gonna whisk it for about 5 minutes or so. And I'm using a fork, just using my hand because I'm in a hurry, not doing all of the theatrics, right? So I'm using a fork, and then I'm gonna just pour it on top and just give it a stir with some ice. If you want it extremely cold, you can add ice to it, but most of my things were frozen. Alright, so I have added that extra coffee that I was whipping for about 5 minutes, and I didn't want it too fluffy, but I wanted it very smooth. So I did, but you don't have to. You can just put all of it together at once. Look at all that pumpkiny goodness. And yes, I'm not into the theatrics, so I'm using my children's spoon just to stir it a little bit. But you see, it's not moving. All of that spice, all of that is just sitting on top of it. It's so good. It's creamy and good. So I'm going to taste it now. Alright, so the last thing I'm doing is just to sprinkle a little nutmeg on it. Yeah, naturally there are nutmeg graters. You can use a smaller one. I don't know where mine is right now, so and that's basically it, guys. Just enjoy. I use this big beer mug or beer glass or whatever it is, because I just want a lot. I am about to do some work, but it's really good. It tastes really good. Wow.